Hello everyone, I'm Ihan0212 and in today's video I would like to introduce you my new set, basically a new rule set for the upcoming Ultimate test, where I will play through with the Hardcore Challenge setting. So, let's get started. Alright, after some weeks I opened up Darkzone Breaktrough again and I got this prompt. I made a screenshot about it and I can translate it. But I thought I will just show this for the background. Alright, let's go to the translation. Afterwards, announcement of the closure of new cutting-edge test services on May 10. Darkzone Pioneers. In order to provide a better gaming experience, the game is scheduled to close the matching function at 10 PM on May 10th. Return supply, return rules. Yeah, this is not really important. Alright, get back to the rules. So, to start with, I'm gonna read all of this, which I set up myself, based on other hardcore rules I found on the internet, on YouTube, as well as my own HARDCORE CHALLENGE rules. So yeah, let's start. Yeah, to start with, it is basically divided into three main parts: preparation, general rules, and scav related rules, if I can remember it correctly. In first place, I thought I'm gonna do the seasonal rules as well, but I think I put that in the general rules. Alright. Rules, DZB HARDCORE Challenge. Quick note, rules might change if I discover new mechanics, or if I find it needed to change them. I'm gonna fix the T-pose, by the way. Also, as a note, all this text will be posted under every video of the new Hardcore Challenge series for Darkzone Breaktrough in the description. So, preparation. First, rule number 1. You need to finish the first 2 raids in order to avoid glitching the game because of the forced tutorials. As you may have known if you have followed my videos and my previous starts for the previous tests, when we enter Darkzone Breaktrough, the very first thing that you need to do is the tutorial, and then you enter in a raid with the cutscene. That raid is a bot match. I'm gonna get out as fast as possible there, first of all. Secondly, the next game, before you join the next game, it asks you to switch your equipment, and I'm not sure, I can't remember it correctly, if it allows me to click other stuff or not. But after finishing that mission, or that raid, like the first raid, it requires us to switch the rigs, and if at that point delete all my stuff, I'm not sure if the game will glitch or not, because I'm not sure if devs thought about that some people will actually delete their stuff. So I'm not sure, and this is just to make that sure. So the second raid is usually also, it feels like it's a bot raid, but it could also be with one player. I'm not sure, but it's usually with a teammate. And I will go through that raid as well, finish as quickly as possible, and then we're gonna jump onto rule number 2. After the first 2 raids, you must sell everything directly to the traders, including your melee weapon. This is because to provide an even more hardcore challenge, if you want to get a melee weapon, you need to barter it later in the game. Rule number 3. Before entering the 3rd raid, put all your cash into your pockets. Rule number 4. You must drop your money after joining into your 3rd raid. So, Darkzone Breaktrough is a little bit easier and more likely to EFT with the money thing. In Lost Light you have the Luna, but the Luna is basically an amount of cash that is stored on your account somewhere, but not physically, or like, you understand what I mean. It's not an item that represents the value, like in Lost Light like in Darkzone Breaktrough or in Escape from Tarkov. You can have banknotes now, since a couple of patches in Lost Light, but it's still not the same thing. So it's harder to prepare to have zero money. And you can also never get zero money in Lost Light. You're always gonna get 6 or 30 or 20 cash at the end. Not that it really matters, but you will. But in Darkzone Breaktrough, you can take all of your money into the raid and just drop it. And then you're at zero. So that's a little bit faster way for the preparation. Good. Sorry. Shit. Okay. Then we have the general rules. Rule number 5. You are not allowed to use the black market. Self-explanatory, it's hardcore. Rule number 6. You are not allowed to purchase from traders for cash. Yes. Rule number 7. You are only allowed to use cash to repair your armor. That's not entirely correct. In your stash, you are only allowed to use cash to repair your armor. Because you are allowed to enter blockades with the cash. As fact. And because there is no insurance, you can't unfortunately pay for that with cash. Okay. 8. You are allowed to barter with the traders, including limited item shop. So I will use the limited item shop because it can give an advantage based if I don't use it. But I do need to bartering items. Rule number 9. You are only allowed to sell directly to the traders. As I said, no black market. Rule number 10. Every mission related item needs to be found in the raid as a PMC. And you will understand why I added as a PMC to it later. Rule number 11. You are not allowed to collect anything that the game gives you as an advantage, including get out with X amount of loot value to receive X amount of cash. You know, there's that thing like, if you can successfully extract with 5k of loot, you get 5k of cash. 5k of loot as a PMC, you get 5k of cash. Then we have event-related rewards, so like the energy drink. I will allow myself, for example, to loot it, but I will not allow myself to barter it or exchange it for different stuff. Or even rewards for playing previous tests. For example, in the cutting edge test we got an extra box because we played the, what was that name? Oh, I forgot the name. The test before the cutting edge test. Charging test. Because I joined the charging test, I got one free box for the cutting edge test. So I won't collect any of those. Neither, like, if my account is linked, I'm not going to gather any of those stuff. So no to those. Rule number 12, you are only allowed to team up with other hardcore players. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna play with other players, but if I will only play with hardcore players. And if they don't play hardcore, I will play mostly solo. The biggest reason for this is basically because in the previous tests, previous wipe version, the cutting edge test, I realized myself that I stay up until too late and too often, basically. In first case, you know, I started with 1 time or 2 times per week, around 2.5 hours of gameplay and recording. And I can use that for like 2 weeks of content. At this point, I reached that with this setup, in the last couple of weeks, I played like, not almost every day, but 3 times a week, something like that, and then 3 hours, 2 hours. Also multiplayer with Sprout and Dip and Jess. And yeah, currently I'm with cutting edge test content at January. So every video will be published, every day a video will be published around 10 minutes long for the series. the Cutting Edge Test Gameplay series. And yeah, that's gonna last until January 24th of January 2023. Yes, you heard it correct. The edited thumbnails are already updated, so that's ready. The content is already pre-uploaded, so yeah, they are currently hidden. Basically not hidden, but on the planning, so they will drop it every day. Alright, let's continue. Rule 13. If you team up, your team is not allowed to gather out any of your equipment, items, usables, throwables, etc. That was in your character while joining the raid. So if you're gonna play with hardcore players, if you die, you lose. There is no thing such as your teammate got out your stuff and you get it back. No. Rule number 14. You are allowed to do other games. Oh yeah, additional to rule number 13, items that your teammate looted or you looted can be gathered by your teammates, but not the items or things or equipment which you brought into the raid. So that's an important note. Rule number 14, you are allowed to do other game modes than normal if you wish. So as I said, blockade mode is allowed. Rank mode is allowed if you want. I'm personally not into, but yeah, as a rule it is allowed. Alright, then the last part is the scav related rules. Because compared to Escape from Tarkov, Darkzone Breaktrough does have missions that require you to play as a scav. And in order to get the traders to a high enough level, how to say that? Yeah, basically high enough level, then I want to finish as much missions as possible, as fast as possible. And that's the reason I include these rules. So, rule number 15. You are allowed to do scav runs to gather the required amount of loot for missions. However, after the scav run, you need to sell everything on you directly and take that money with you in the next PMC run to drop it. So yeah, you know, there's like those missions that you need to get successfully out with X amount of loot as a scav. Then we have, and by the way, after I'm gonna finish those missions, I'm not going to do scav runs. Rule number 16, you are allowed to do scav runs for the missions to kill PMCs/scavs as a scav. However, after finishing the mission and it is not a criteria to evacuate successfully, you need to find a way to kill yourself in that raid. So, for example, some missions requires you to kill a PMC as a scav, and also to kill scavs as a scav, I think. If I'm gonna do those missions, I'm not even going to bother with escaping, if it's not a criteria to escape successfully. I just straight gonna kill myself somehow, either run into a scav, shoot one bullet to it, get aggroed and get killed. Or drop an nade to myself if I find one, or bury myself alive, or run into a PMC with naked and just kill myself. Rule number 17, you are not allowed to do scav runs to gather anything at all beside the other rules. So again, if I finish all those missions, no scav runs. So nothing like, oh, I'm just gonna do a scav run to fill up my resources, to gather rounds, to gather mission related stuff. No, nothing. The objective, progress as far as possible with your missions. Subject can be specified for everyone. And these are the rules. So let me know in the comment section below what you think about them, where you personally would make a change, what your opinion about. So yeah, as usual, feel free to react, comment, like, dislike, subscribe, ring notification bell if you want. It's up to you, I'm not forcing you. And I will start doing hardcore challenge, I think the day after tomorrow, because tomorrow I don't have time to drop into the game, only after too late, but then I will be too sleepy and I have no, yeah, I don't want to start with a sleepy head. I actually realized that I missed one big rule. No quick heal. And I didn't even realize that I didn't include it, so in the description I'm gonna include that rule as well, somewhere in the general rules. Basically, you are only allowed to use cash to repair your armor counts here, so like no quick heal. Yeah, I will count it down. So as an explanation, no quick heal, no insta heal, nothing like that. Also, I will try to avoid using the quick options like the auto sorting function. Okay, auto sorting will be used, but not the auto buy stuff. Also, auto sorting, only in the beginning I like to use it, and I'm basically just gonna stick to myself how I want to order things and put things together. Alright, so I will see you next time in the Hardcore Challenge, Episode 1, Preparation. Maybe 2 days from now, I'm not sure. But yeah, I will see you then. Bye.